what would you describe success as? If Iman Tucker is defining success, what do you define success as?
I believe success to be understanding who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I believe success to be trying your best.
Mm-hmm.
I believe success to be finding something that gets you on fire. I believe success to be having community around you.
Mm-hmm.
I believe success to be killing your ego. There were so many times where accolades or a number or an opportunity would be what I define as success.
Yeah.
But when you recognize that a lot of that's fickle and a lot of that's temporary, and you can't really take any of this with you, I started to question what was the value of that success. But now when I recognize what truly makes a man rich, and I don't say man as in like a man or woman, but just a person, what truly makes a person rich is a full life's experience and discovery, not necessarily achievement. That to me now is what's success.
That's good, dude. That's really good. I think we get caught up in worldly success, which is money, big watches, fancy cars, and there's nothing wrong with those things. But you don't want to make them your idols. You know, when you can define success as lifestyle, serving others, things like you just did, it's definitely it's just a more enjoyable journey, you know.
For sure. Because, I mean, let's be real, that sports car, that supercar that you have, you can only drive at 70 miles an hour on the highway legally anyway. It's not going to go legally. It's not going to go any faster than that, Honda Civic. Or that watch is not going to tell time in any better way than perhaps this Rolex or this AP or anything. And so when you really get down to the gritty and you say that, wow, we consider these things valuable because somebody else said it was valuable, and we're going to almost morph our lives around this tangible thing because these people that are way further than us with monetary success said so, you find yourself almost sacrificing and compromising who you truly are based on other people's opinions. And so when I recognize the only reason why I wear a Rolex is because people say this is what Rolexes are supposed to, like people that are successful are supposed to wear these. I recognize, well, number one, that's not fair. Right. But then also number two, there's people that think Rolexes are cheap watches.
That puts it in perspective for you, right?
This is like the starter kit for the entrepreneur, right? The Rolex. And he pulls up with an AP that's like the cost of my house.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I mean that is a really good way of looking at it because perception's everything, right? And I've been very blessed to meet some very successful people, and it makes you, like when I was 24 making six figures a year, I thought it was hot shit. And then I get into Tom James and some of the people I met, it made me go, you know what? Never again will I think I'm hot shit because there are people making 30,000 times more than I'm making in a single month, right? And it's just like, whoa, okay, cool. I'm humbled, So exactly that perception. The Rolex to some people is the thing they aim for their entire life, and to others it's like, oh, that's the starter kit.
Oh yeah, and here was my moment. This is my humbling moment. Okay,
let's hear it.
So at the time we had a mentor had given us season tickets to the Colts suite.
Okay,
and so at any point we're in the nicest suite, assumably Lucas Oil, every single weekend.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was the coolest dude ever. I just signed with the Pacers and started doing the DJ stuff. I'm like, man, I'm the man around here. Well, my car breaks down, and at the time I had a BMW X6, and I overpaid for it. Naturally, and I got a rental car that was like this beat up, like 2006 Trailblazer. And I got invited to pick up the tickets that season for the Colts thing, and I had to go to Jim Irsay's estate. And so I pull up in this beat up car. I'm all fresh on the inside or whatever. Yeah. And my mentor comes out down the thing, and he kind of looks at my car of like, dude, what are you doing driving this? And as dumb as this story is, I felt so low in that moment because I had such a crappy car on this multi-billion-dollar estate. Yeah. And it happened to be Dwight Freeney's Ring of Honor celebration. So all these Hall of Fame ballers are outside.
Yeah.
And I was so disappointed that I allowed something, because they didn't understand my circumstance. But
Right.
even if I did pull up in my X6, that is still so far below what these
Still a
people
Honda
drive.
to them, right?
It's still
Yeah.
a Honda to them. So I'm recognizing that even at my best, I still would have been embarrassed.
Yeah.
That was the moment where I recognized, okay, maybe I need to lean on my character or something else,
Yeah.
because the tangible stuff in it, it's crap to somebody.
That's hilarious. Not that Hondas are bad, by the way. You know, Hondas are great vehicles.
Great
But yeah,
vehicles.
Yeah. Oh, that is so funny, dude. Yeah. That is, we all got to have those moments. You know, I feel like if you have a moment like that and you don't get humbled, or if you never have a moment like that and don't get humbled, you need it. It definitely, it puts things in perspective for you, especially where we are, right? Like, you know, being on Jim Irsay's estate, that thing is beautiful. I drive past it quite often, and it's a massive, massive estate. Yeah, it's like, man, okay, hey, Jim, could I have the you know, pool house there? That would be nicer than the house I'm in now.
Exactly. Yeah, and even when going back to the car thing, I won't harp on this too long for the people that don't care, but even if I had the same car that all these Hall of Fame football players like,
Yeah.
at minimum, I'd just be fitting in.
Right. Yeah. There's guys that I've worked with in the past that they tried to keep up with Joneses, right? And very quickly they were the person serving the people they were trying to keep up with. And so, but them trying to be a peer, they realize they're not. And you know, when you go through some life changes because of that, because you can't keep up, you're just trying to do it on the outside, you realize very quickly, it's like when you can realize, like, I'm a servant to other people, and that's okay. That's a good place to be, right? But you realize, like, yeah, I'm not a peer to some of those people. It definitely puts things in perspective, just like you're saying.
Exactly,
You know?
like a basketball role player. Everybody has a role, and the sooner you identify that role and you're okay with being number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you're going to find out that you have so much more peace, and that whole identity struggle that you go with, it goes away because you understand your lane and you shoot and stay in that lane.
Yeah.
If you ever get out of that lane and go a little bit faster, that's great, but that's not necessarily because you owned it. You probably got lucky.
Probably.
And that's fine.
Well, and I think that goes to finding identity in Christ, because you'll never be happy with the earthly identity you find, you know, because that, even if you are happy with it temporarily, it'll be snapped away from you in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
You know, and the only thing that can be consistent in life is that identity in Christ.
Amen. You said it great.